Now there are different ways to ensure that you draw accurate. So let's have a look at some of the draw commands. If I go in my root menu, if I go to draw, and in the subcolumn you will find some line commands and some circle curve commands. So if I go to the circle command, the first one, if I'm going to left click, activate the command, Caddie will ask us what the radius need to be, or the diameter, or the circumference, or the area. So for this exercise, I'm just going to ask Caddie that the radius need to be 3000 millimeter. I'm going to say OK, and as you can see, I get a preview that's attached to my pointer, and I'm going to left click and I place my circle. So now I can just press escape and it cancels the command. Some other commands will start the command. So if I make use of the polyline, I'm going to left click to activate the polyline command, and Caddie will ask us indicate start of polyline. So I'm going to left click, so now it starts the command. Now as you can see, it's attached to my pointer, and Caddie asks us indicate next point of polyline. So now I can just left click, left click, left click, and as you can see, it carries on. But before I'm going to press escape, now have a look and see in the command line, you will have additional options like U for undo last point. So if I press U on the keyboard, it will undo the last point. C to close, or A for arc segment. So I'm going to press A on the keyboard to create the arc segment, and Caddie will ask us indicate end of arc segment. So I'm just going to left click, and as you can see, now I can indicate where I would like to place the arc, or if I read the command line, I can be more specific and press R and to give it a radius. But this exercise, I'm just going to create a profile freehand, and now as you can see, now it carries on until I press escape. So I'm going to press escape, and as you can see, there's my profile. Now I want to close this profile. Now I could have pressed C to close, but now I'm going to introduce to you what we call snap modes. Now when it comes to your snap modes, at the moment I'm in freehand. If I want to create a construction line through the center of the circle, I have to go to geometry, and in the subcolumn we're going to go con XY. So if I click on the command, construction lines will be attached to your pointer, and Caddie will ask you the position for your UCS X and Y. So I don't get a signal whatsoever to get to the center of the circle. So that's why the first way of getting hold of the snap modes is what we call your CSM, your context sensitive menu, and that is to right click, and then you will see that we've got freehand there, we've got auto snap, and then we've got additional snap modes. Now, under the additional snap modes, as I scroll down, you will see you've got construction intersection, you've got endpoint, you've got circle center, that's the one I'm looking for. You've got midpoint of line, normal to line, midway between points. So for our first exercise, we're going to say circle center. So I'm going to click on circle center, and Caddie will ask us indicate circle arc, ellipse, or curved wall. So I'm going to left click, and as you can see, place the construction line in the center of my circle. So now I can press escape. That's when it comes to additional snap modes. Some of those snap modes into one snap mode, and that's called auto snap. So if I right click, you will see you get auto snap. If I go to additional snap modes, you will see that there's an option that says configure auto snap. As you can see, my freehand is active, my endpoint, center of line. I could have asked Caddie, if you work a lot with circles, to switch on center of circle. I can ask Caddie, give me a signal for perpendicular. I want the signal for intersection as well as construction intersection, and I say OK. Let's have a look and see how the auto snap works. So if I go back to my draw command, I'm going to say auto, because now I want to close the gap. If I'm not making use of the auto snap, the following will happen. I'm going to use auto. As I move my pointer, Caddie will ask us indicate line start. So I don't get a signal at all. So I just going to left click, I go to another point, left click. As soon as I press escape and I zoom in, you will see that you did not work accurate at all. So we need to get a signal. So the way to activate your auto snap is as follow. You're going to either, before you click on a command, or you can even be in a command. So as soon as I click a command, at the bottom of my status bar, you will see there's an option that's blanked out at the moment, and it's called auto snap. So if I left click, now my auto snap is switched on. So if I move my pointer to the start, as you can see, now I will get signals, even to the middle of a line, to the end point of the line. So now I'm going to ask Caddie, I would like to draw a line from that point, and as I move my pointer, you will see I get a signal, I left click, I press escape, and if I now zoom in, you will see I will be 100% accurate. Let's just do another exercise. Let's go to draw again. I would like to draw, let's say, from the middle of that line, I get a signal, so I can left click to the end point of this line. And I can left click. I can press escape. I can go to draw again. I would like to draw a line from that point. Now as you see, as soon as I get a signal, I can left click and I would like to go to the center or to the end point of that segment. And I press escape. So the auto snap, you can switch it on and off in your status bar, or you can activate it by right click and say auto snap. That your auto snap is a combination of some of these snaps. Depends on your environment what you like to add to your auto snap. Now we're going to make use of, say, 2 different objects. I've got a construction line there with a circle, but the same principle. So I'm going to say polyline. I'm going to activate my auto snap, and as I move my pointer, now you will see I will get signals. I'm going to ask Caddie from that intersection to this intersection, to that intersection, to that intersection, to that intersection. Press escape, and as you can see, there's my profile. Now let's work accurate when it comes to your lines draw. My left hand side, we're going to go to draw, and we go to polyline. Some of the commands ask you to indicate the start point of the line, so I'm going to left click, and now Caddie asks us to indicate the end point. So by now I'm going to make use of my keyboard. So I'm going to type in a distance, say 5,000, and I'm going to press the right arrow on the keyboard. Then it means that this line is exactly 5,000 millimeter to the right, and now I would like to go 4,000 up, so I'm going to type in 4,000 and I press the up arrow on the keyboard. And then I can tell Caddie that if I want to be more specific with angle, I can ask Caddie, let's make it 3,000, and then I'm going to make use of shift comma. Now you will see in your command line it will give you a signal at an angle of, and I can say 45, because how the Cartesian works is your 0 is at 3 o'clock, and you've got your 90 degrees, your 180, and then your 270. So now if I ask Caddie 3000 at an angle of 45, and I press enter. So if I press escape, then it means the length of that segment will be 3000 and my angle will be 45. Another option of working accurate is by using your polar snap. Now in the status bar here at the bottom, you will see I'm going to switch it on. Now it's in color, and I'm going to switch on my auto snap, because what I want to do is I want to carry on from this segment to the left, and I want to use my first point as a reference. So I'm going to click on polyline, and as I move my pointer, as soon as I get close, I will get a signal because my auto snap is switched on. So as soon as I get a signal, I can left click, and now you will see, because my polar snap is switched on, it will give me those ghost lines that I can use as a reference. So if I go down, I don't click at the bottom, I just keep it as a reference, then I move my pointer upwards, and as you can see, it will give me a horizontal and vertical construction. I can left click, then it means that that line is exactly up to that point. And if I want to close it now, I can just left click, press escape, and I know it's a closed box. Let's say I want to use this other line as a reference, same principle. Now I'm going to start off with lines. It doesn't matter lines or polylines in this exercise. I'm going to indicate the start point, and then I would like to use this point as a reference. So I'm going to, as I hold my pointer over that point, I bring my pointer to the left hand side, I get a reference, I can left click, and as you can see, it creates a line up to that point. Now I can close it, and even if I'm in a command, you can still make change to your pen color, change to yellow, and this time I'm going to use this bottom as a reference. I'll hold my pointer, left click, and I can close my profile. So between your auto snap and your polar snap, you can make sure that you're definitely going to work accurate. Even with the polar snap switched on, you can type in a distance. So if I indicate, say I want to start over here, and now just indicate the direction that I want to go, I can type in 5000 and I can press enter. Same principle if I want to go up, I can type in 4000 and I can press enter. So same principle as with the first exercise that we did. By using your arrows on your keyboard, you can use your polar snap as a direction as well.